Hey everyone, Neon Genesis here, and I'm here to guide you through the instances you come across in Final Fantasy XIV. So first up, we'll be tackling our first instance, Sastasha. Instances are great for EXP, so to increase the amount you receive, it's recommended that you use food to boost EXP. Now that that's out of the way, now a small and quick explanation of what instances are in Final Fantasy XIV. I won't be explaining this in every video, but as it's my first of the series, I figured I might as well explain instances for any new people watching the video. Instances in Final Fantasy XIV, or otherwise known as dungeons, normally consist of 4 party members, 1 tank, 1 healer, 2 DPS. You can tell who is what by the colour coordination. The tank should be blue, the green should be healer, and the DPS should be red. The tanks are used to hold enemies while DPS focus on taking down the adds, and the healer focuses on healing when necessary. Quickly get familiar with your setup, and when you're ready, put protect up and delve into the dungeon. Your first few groups of enemies shouldn't pose you too much of a threat, but once you get to a room with a note inside it, have a read of it and remember what it says if you can. This will come in handy later. Just keep in mind that the note is random every time you enter. After a few more adds, you'll eventually get to a room with clams inside it. Your aim here is to kill the clams, but take note that when it closes you won't be able to do damage to it. Once the clam is down, kill the remaining shade seekers and proceed on. Deal with all the clams and eventually you'll get to a place with 3 switches on the wall. Now this is where the note comes in handy. The note should have mentioned the colour. In the video for me it was mentioned red. The aim here is to pull the correct switch with the mentioned colour in the note. It is possible to guess a switch, but you might have to deal with an ad. After pulling the correct switch, your first boss will spawn. Say hello to Chopper. Chopper is a very basic boss, and throughout the game it's been showing you how to deal with specific bosses and enemies. Chopper isn't any different and is very easy. The only move you'll want to watch out for is Charged Whisker. You shouldn't have any trouble dodging this attack. Other than that, treat it like a normal enemy and you'll have him down in no time. Once defeated, open your chest, get your reward and proceed on. After more adds, you'll eventually get to your next boss, Captain Madison. For this boss fight, take down the captain's henchmen first. I've numbered mine 1 and 2, letting the DPS know that I want them down first before going on to Captain Madison. The boss's henchmen will die very quick, then when they're dead just focus all your attention on the captain. Get the captain to about 50% and he'll eventually run away. A quick note for any summoners, you'll want to make sure your carbuncle doesn't chase after the boss when he runs away. Be sure to cancel carbuncle from fighting. Eventually you get to a big open room. You'll have 2 options here, go in all the rooms for the EXP and treasure, or simply ignore all the rooms and proceed on. Be sure to communicate this with your other party members, but either way, when you're ready, go to the door to the south with 2 Shallowtail Reavers, pick up the key, and take down, I suppose, a mini-boss. Kill him and again pick up the key and proceed on. Eventually you'll hit your next boss. Yep, Captain Madison again. Again, use the same tactic, take down his henchmen, and then once the captain has taken enough damage, he'll release his hounds on you. Pick these up and take them down, and proceed on. After you've taken down a bunch more of adds, you'll eventually hit your last boss, then the Orca Tooth. With this boss, what you have to do is interact with the ripples in the corner of the room once you see the water bubbling. If you fail to interact with the ripples, an enemy will appear. The aim in this fight is to not have the ad spawn and just focus on the boss. This boss isn't very difficult and it is possible to just burn him down. Either tactic you choose, you'll have then the Orca Tooth down in no time. Congratulations on completing your first instance in Final Fantasy XIV. If you want to see more dungeon guides from me and keep up to date with my announcements, you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, all the links are down below in the description. For other tips on leveling through the main story quest, check out my friend Cap Gaming for tips and other guild making tips. Check out the description below. I've been Neon Genesis. Thank you so much for watching. Happy gaming.